All right, we're back at it. Got our motor. So, plan is, if things work out, is I gotta strip this thing down. I have a turbo 350 over on the other side. I don't know if it's good or not, but it's just good for mock-up for now anyways. So I'm gonna put it behind here, and we're gonna kind of just lop it in. Hopefully can build some mounts, a transmission mount. Then we get a feel of how our driveline stuff's gonna work. So that's what I'm hoping to do. Should work out, I don't see why not. Anyways, first task is to, basically what I wanna do is strip this thing down. I have got I'm gonna use the stock wiring harness. That's my plan. So I'm gonna split it up. You guys have seen me do that a lot, but whatever. We'll touch on it a little bit. Some of you folks wanna know. I am not using just watching lots of antifreeze dripping out of there. I'm not going to use like an aftermarket wiring harness. I was looking them up. I was close, but I didn't pull the trigger. I just felt this thing has the whole harness. It's there. It's going to be good enough. Pretty much everything in the back here. The boy didn't take it apart that nice, but it's okay because I'm not using any of the transmission stuff, so that's not a problem. As long as I have my O2s up in the front here, which we do. This is all transmission and transfer case stuff. Don't need it. He snipped all of that. All I really need, I don't know if you're using the fuse box. I don't think there's a lot of room under that hood for everything to do this fuse box deal. So I just ordered a random fuse box off Amazon and a couple relays. So I gotta just do the basic engine on a small little fuse panel. And then I'm going to do, what do you call it? 2 relays. Like I'll have one for the fuel pump, and we may do electric. We may do an electric fan. I don't know yet. We'll see. But what I want to do, just to make everything simple, is I want to pull the intake off, and because this truck's been sitting for a while, so I'm probably going to pull this off. I might try to just do a quick little test on the injectors, make sure they're good. See what he did. Okay, that's good. So we'll pull the wiring. AC's got to come off. Like I say, I want the intake off. I have a nice doodad that drops down onto the intake so I can lift the motor. I'm trying to think. It's sitting over there, so that's good. And then we'll just kind of bolt up the transmission loosey-goosey, and then we'll kind of stab it in there and just see what it looks like. Anyways, first things first, let's get that intake off and a few things, and see where we go. I am pretty sure we're going to have to do the oil pan, but I'm going to set it all up. We'll see how it goes. We're not making this thing super low, so I might get away with the stock pan, but it's usually a hit and miss. I don't like those oil pans sitting much below this cross member because it's the first thing that's going to smash into something. And I'm probably going to have to cut that rest of that drive shaft that's left of it out of there. There's no point using any of this Studi stuff because a lot of this Studebaker stuff's kind of hard to come by, so we'll try to upgrade everything we can to something modern that we can at least get parts pretty easy. All right, let's get everything stripped off that motor. I'm even going to take the exhaust manifolds off because I can guarantee there's broken bolts and we got to get them off anyways. So, all right, let's start snipping away here. Alright, well, here's where we're at. We've cleaned up the motor a little bit. I didn't go crazy with it, so you can still see some stuff. I kind of went way more overkill than I was going to originally. But anyways, we zapped it, we cleaned it up. I have this transmission that was on Rolly's car. I know the motor was bad, but this thing was sealed up and stuff. So I don't know if it's bad or not. I'm not sure. But anyways, I know I need to change this flywheel because the kid had a bolt that was broken and he had to torch it off and buggered it up. So that's not a big deal. So I got to change that. I still have to put the spacer in there. The transmission though is like, it's unknown. It's weird because it looks turbo 350-ish from underneath. But what gets me is that the tail shaft doesn't come off. So usually they unbolt for the different lengths. So this thing's kind of a strange unicorn thing for me. I don't know what the heck that is. Unless this is one of those weird metric. Instead of a turbo 350, what was it, a turbo 250 or something? I don't know. I mean, in the end, if it works, who cares? So, anyways, well, we got this all slammed together. Next step, well, first thing I actually have to do is get these broken studs out. It had more than I thought. There's one here, a nice deep bugger too. This one should be able to just twist off. And I think another one. We got 3 of them we got to take off, so that's not a big deal. Okay. And, well, I'm not even going to bother cleaning this because I don't know if it's any good. I would think it is, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to get those out first just because it's here, it's convenient, we may as well do it. And then we're going to lower it out, lower that down. I'm actually going to pull that cradle out because I think I can squeak the motor in without having to pull the hood off then. It don't really matter how deep these things break off in there. It's an aluminum head, so you don't have to worry about your weld sticking to it. This one's not crazy deep, but it is deep, so I'm just gonna build it up a little till it comes out. And now we have a little bit of area we can zap this thing onto. Now I just fill this with tons of heat and that'll like loosen that thing up in there. Now our nut. Yeah. A lot easier to do it like that. All right, that motor does not want to go in there, I can tell you that much. We're definitely running into problems here. I don't even have this bolted on. It's like completely crooked right now, and it's like not clearing said steering box. And I don't even know right now, and this is about as low as I can put the motor, so I don't even know if I can clear that. And I'm not about to buy junk like car stuff or anything like that. I might try to bring the hood down. The oil pan's like, I don't know, the stock pan will be fine in here. You can't go back more? Well, maybe I can. I don't know. It's tight in here. You wouldn't think that. Yeah, like my bell housing's way up here. Like we're just gonna have to carve this sucker up to get this sucker in here. So I had to take the transmission off because I couldn't get it in, kind of deal. I'm gonna pull this strap off. I'm gonna lower the hood and just see what kind of hood clearance we got. Whether this thing where it sits is actually even gonna work. I think it'll be close, but well, we'll see what happens here. Okay. Ah, there's plenty of room. If we had to, we can come up. Man, there's like a lot of room. Look at that. There's like so much room. I mean, this has to go up a little, but nowhere near that. And the intake's pretty close to that. I don't think it sits crazy higher than that. So there's a lot of room. I just think when we redo the floor, we're gonna have to build a big old hump in the middle here. I think that is just not gonna cooperate with us. I have a feeling that we are going to cut the crap out of that. All right, hood's back up. I shuffled things around a little bit. We kind of gave it a little shove and a push, and I moved some stuff. It's like everything on the firewall is holding it from going back. I really want to get this to go as far to the firewall as I can, so it looks like we're just about there, but this side's getting hung up on, I don't know, some heater hose stuff. And then here's like my temperature control for like to turn it on and off. I think I'm gonna ditch that, and that we can get this motor to go back at least 2 more inches. As it sits, it's in here. I have it just a hair bit over, like nothing squared up or nothing. It's just eyeballed, but this pulley looks like we're gonna be getting it in the zone. Like looks like it's doable. The problem I have right now is the battery box is completely in the way, and I can't figure out. I got to figure out how to unbolt it. It looks like it's like welded to the firewall, so we might have to just cut the thing off, and we'll figure something else out for that later. Maybe we'll mount it further back or what, and then we'll have to figure out exhaust, because this side's not a problem. This side where the steering everything is, it's tight. It is very tight. Like we almost need to do some ram horn things. Or, you know, block huggers, maybe? Something like that. I don't know. I mean, we're getting there. It's a little more complicated. Not so easy small block swap like some stuff, but whatever. I think it'll be a nice fit in there when it's all said and done. Should make it boogie pretty good. Anyways, I basically gave it's like 3/4 of an inch off that cross member is where it's sitting. The motor's, I don't know, it looks like it's down, like it's tilted down, but I'm okay with that much oil pan hanging out, so we're not gonna swap out oil pans or do anything. This thing will be just fine in here. We're not like making this thing lay frame or do nothing. As it sits, it's not bad other than my flat tire in the back, but you know, we're gonna drop it a bit, but it's still got that little bit of a tail dragger dealio going on, so we'll probably drop that like 2 inches or so, but that'll give us still lots of ground clearance. Not too worried about it. Oh well, I think that's as far as I'm getting tonight. I'm been farting around all day here, so I think tomorrow plan is try to get that thing hooked up, so that means we're gonna just start carving the firewall out, get that in there. I might chain this up, pull it back a bit, disconnect everything, pull that heater, I think the heater inside, that aftermarket heater, I think those are some of the lines over there. one of them anyways. So I'm gonna get that disconnected, get it off the firewall, get that out. This one must be, man, I don't know what that thing is, but it looks like we're gonna clear it. That won't be, well, maybe not. I might have to get that heater dealio out of there. Same with that, because that one is just for the floor under the truck heater there. Under the truck, yeah, like under the seat, the floor heat. So I can get rid of that thing. That one must be for the defrost. So I almost want to keep that one. I don't know. For now, I might have to take it out. I think that's defrost. I don't know now. Well, it's got to be. That's the only other motor. See, there's one under the floor. There's this big bugger right here. This thing, ugh. This thing's shot. So whatever. Oh yeah. That one is definitely. Ugh. Clean that up later. Man, what is that? Oh, so it literally has a coil going around. That's weird. My goodness, so weird. I was wondering what those tiny little lines are. Look at those little lines. That runs a coil around there for the defrost. All right, that's not a big deal. We can take all of that out because we can do a more modern heater in there that'll do defrost and do everything with like just one motor. So I think that is what we're gonna do. So that's cool. All right, tomorrow we're gonna disassemble a whole lot of junk and try to get the motor and tranny at least fitting in there. Then we're gonna look at figuring out how all the motor mounts and stuff go. I took the original ones off as much as I wanted to use it. It made the motor sit way too high. It sat really nice on the frame rail, but it was like 4 or 5 inches off the cross members, which is way too high. So we're gonna have to, we got a lot of stuff to do. We gotta cut a lot of things out. I think you'd have the same problem if it was a small block. Well, pretty sure. Apparently you can get kits and actually put small blocks in these things. Well, in the original frame, not this one. So yeah, I probably complicated everything doing the clip, but okie doke. Anyways, tomorrow we'll just start attacking everything on there and just cutting everything out and we'll start fresh. Alrighty, I've been plugging through all that. I'm trying to take the stuff out as nice as I can. There's a feller who came by and he grabbed the front suspension and motor and stuff. I guess he has like tons of these parts and restores them and whatnot. So I'm trying to do my best taking things apart, not so screwed up. But so I took the blower off. This is the defrost. Look how cute that thing is, eh? It's actually got little heater hoses that go around this winding, and then I guess when the blower squirrel cage goes, it just pulls air through there. So weird. And then this one's like the temperature control, which is kind of neat because it's got some kind of a thermostat. So I don't know if you turn it on, it won't actually flow water until it's warm. I don't understand that, but anyways, that's out. I've cleared up a lot of the firewall here. We got a lot of holes we're gonna have to fill. When I had the motor in, I kind of did a rough little sketch around where the bell housing is, so I'm going to try to, I don't know, somehow I'm going to try to make a nice little pattern. I might clean it up after, but I got to hack some of that out so I can get the motor and trans in. I'm thinking, because the floors are bad, I might just, you know, carve what I need out on top, and we'll just, well, a lot of that thing's still good. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I might just blow it out. I might just blow it all out and we're just gonna build a new floor from like here up. There's a few little spots that will need some patches, but I took the heater core under the seat heater box out, so I'll have to make a plate for that around there, rebuild a little bit of stuff in the corners here. But yeah, slowly getting there. I think once we carve out the firewall, we can test fit. I'm going to do the motor and trans together again, and we'll try to get everything to fit in. And well, at least that'll be the goal. Anyways, try to get the motor in. It's not fitting so well right now. Over on this side, we got our ashtray was actually stopping that thing from coming out. So anyways, yeah, not too bad. I'm going to bust out the plasma cutter, and we're just going to blitz a lot of that off. I guess this goes a little further than I thought, so I have to take the sill plate off and see what's buggered underneath there yet. Not too worried about the rust repair yet. I think I got to get some steel. I might repurpose some of my other burnt stuff like we've been doing on the other cars, just because it's a floor, so it'll be fine. All right. Well, let's start cutting stuff. Well, that took a lot of work. That did not want to fit very well in there. I don't know how the other motors, small blocks, just fit in here. Mind you, I guess because it's a different clip, I'm sure it can sit so much lower. The way I mounted the clip, it's kind of high. I guess it's high, I don't know. But that would explain what's going on. It's because of the S10 clip probably screwing everything up and making it more work than it needs to be. But anyways, we got it in. I cut out the floor. I still got more to cut out, but you know, this is a good starting point. Like the no floor that I have. Unfortunately, this thing's got to sit so much higher that I'm going to have to, like, right up to the cross member, wherever my hanger bearing is going to be, I'm going to have to build a whole tunnel going all the way down to there. So, not a big deal because it's not even going to move. So, it can hug the floor pretty tight. But anyways, golly, look at that, eh? I went a little overboard up here. I cut a little much. I don't know what I was measuring, but that's okay. I guess we'll make a little filler. We'll get everything close back up to there, but I might make access panels. Well, I'll probably build this bigger, but yeah, I don't know. I got to think of how I'm going to do this thing because I'm not going to make anything removable inside, but I might make access panels just to get at, you know, the 3 bolts. Because we'll be able to do one. This one it can't go through, or is it that one? I can't remember. One of these, there's no hole, like a typical small block, so with an LS, you have these here and then the 3 on one side. So, yeah, I don't know. But I got it pushed back as far as I can go. That gets me, oh, we're pretty tight. I'm probably a little too tight. Oh, I probably bent some stuff, but I think this is about where I want it. I don't know what I'm doing for exhaust yet. That's going to be scary all in its own. Steering works. Just barely, like the power steering pump. It's I've had to move the motor over, so it's sitting about an inch or so over to one side, which is not a big deal. But once I fit this thing up, it's going to give me just enough room to slip a belt on. I don't know if you can get smaller pulleys or not, but I'm using with the junk that I got. So that's bolted on, that works. This should be fine. I'm not going to say there's plenty of room, but I got room for rad and stuff here. Yeah, this thing's pretty tight. I guess it all boils down to this S10. I guess if I needed it lower, like I could notch this a little bit, but I'm giving myself about 3/4 inch room from the oil pan to there. I could make that tighter, but I'm okay with that. I'm just not sure on the orientation here whether this thing's level yet or not. So have to play with that and figure it out. Golly, that was like a lot of chopping to try to make that sucker fit. Anyways, we got most of our rot cut out. Like I say, there's a few little spots, so I'm going to probably cut that out. I got to get these sill plates off and see how bad it is under there. I mean, the rockers look okay. It's just, I don't know how far we got to do our rust repair into here. Like, this part will be pretty simple. I still got to get this thing off, which I plan to do yet, which is going to be a simple... I wonder what's in here. I mean, there's a seat mount. Seat mount. This thing's pretty flat. Wow. I wonder if I just go... See, there's a... Is that a body mount? Oh, yeah, it is too. Man, that is interesting. That goes up to there. But that bolts through the frame. This thing must tie into the floor somehow. I don't get how that works. That is a little structural mount there. I'm just wondering if it's easier to just get rid of everything and just build complete floor pans. Just because we got some weird rot in some places. So trying to make little patches is just easier to make one big sheet. At the rate I'm going, I got to get all the way to here's got to get done. So we might just build a complete floor. That might be easier. Just cut everything out and start from scratch. I'm starting to feel that. So that means I think that is where we are going to leave this one. We got the motor in. It's not really in, but it's sitting in there. I have to get some motor mounts, or I got to figure out what I'm going to do for motor mounts yet. Probably just going to do the small block thing because it's going to be very easy to make some simple saddles for that. And then, well, Well, the transmission's easy. It's a simple cross member. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, I guess we'll save that for the next round. So anyways, as always, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.